hats off to them. So moving on to Ubisoft.
A
So right out the gate, Ubisoft comes out and they have those guys dancing to Queen, and I'm like, okay, you've already lost 2 points there, Ubisoft.
yeah.
But then after a while, they kept dancing, and I couldn't decide if that was the greatest thing I'd ever seen or the worst. I it was so weird because I was like, I couldn't tell if I loved or hated it. At first, I
Yeah.
was like, I absolutely hated it. I'm like, get to the games, but then the dancing kept started, and then the giraffe showed up, and I was like, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
feel
So
like the thing about Ubisoft is that they always want to be kind of weird and silly, like
yeah,
at their conferences, and I'm always like, the reason why people like are interested in the Ubisoft conference is they're like, okay, what is Ubisoft? What cringe-worthy shit is Ubisoft gonna do this year? You know what
yeah.
I mean? Because almost, I guarantee you, almost all or like the percentage of cringy E3 moments happen at the Ubisoft conferences.
I don't know. Konami might have something to say about that.
To be fair, that's true. But if I had to be perfectly honest, like I think about last year and like that stupid meme shit with the fucking Assassin's Creed guy. That was just oh god, that
Uh,
was just cringy. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like the cringier it gets, does it get more amazing or does it just get more
but
worse?
yeah, Aisha Taylor came out and she seems like she's gotten more and more comfortable every single year.
Yeah.
Like her first year was terrible. Her first year was awful. I couldn't actually watch it. It was painful. But yeah, now she was actually,
She's
her jokes were connecting, and yeah. So they started it off with Ghost Recon. The
hmm
game looks. It's okay. So funny story. The
I,
game looks
I
cool, right?
yeah.
The animations are kind of whack, but
I was gonna say it was funny when I was watching the cinematic trailer. I was watching it with Alex, and it got to like the statue, like the skeleton statue with the scythe, and I was
mhm.
just like, "Oh, that statue's super dope." And he was like, "Yep, that's really dope." And I was like, "I'm glad we can both agree on this."
But
uh,
the weird thing about the game was that the fact that the graphics did not blow me away gave me so much faith in the game.
oh yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Like,
And I was
it's
like,
really
good
sad.
shit, Ubisoft. This is what we've come to.
This is what
This
we've
is what
come
we've
to.
come to. Um,
Um,
but overall, the game looks pretty cool. The big thing is that they're allowing you freedom to tackle missions however you choose.
mhm,
They didn't really show off the freedom because I mean, obviously in a demo you can only tackle it one way.
mhm.
But overall, the open-ended nature and the size of the maps was very impressive. Was
Mhm.
very very impressive.
Yeah, like I was interested because I was interested in this because I've been looking forward to like a Ghost Recon with a more interesting setting, right? Than
Hmm.
just and I like this cartel setting. It's very Narcos if anyone's seen that show.
Oh, yes, of
Um,
course.
but it's kind of like I kind of like that vibe that they're going for, and I feel like having like open world missions, kind of similar, but not exactly like Metal Gear Solid 5, where it's like you're in this big open world. It's like, all right, go into this base, do the mission, go, just do it. You know what that I feel like it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
LB, I just hope that it doesn't. I just hope that it doesn't become like a lot of other online Ubisoft experiences where it's just sort
yeah,
of meh. Like I don't know. Like I'm optimistic, but I'm also like I'm not holding my breath or anything like that for this
yeah,
game.
yeah. Same here, same here. I mean, I've been burnt way too many times by Ubisoft, so
Mm-hmm.
at this point, there's an asterisk next to everything they release.
Mm-hmm.
Then they moved on to South Park, and oh my god, that trailer got
Uh,
me again. They did this to me last year too,
yeah,
where that they have this really epic sounding trailer,
yeah,
and you're thinking, oh, is this Watch Dogs? Is this
yeah.
a Splinter Cell maybe? And then you just see Cartman, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yes.
But yeah, the
Uh,
game looks pretty cool.
I
For,
fucking love the freaking Marvel beatdown that they did.
yo, they
That
went
was
in.
so fucking funny. Oh
Uh-huh.
my
they,
God.
they were like, yeah, we can squeeze the black guy
In phase 3.
In phase 3, they're like, oh, should we start with the black guy? They're like, really?
I love when it's when they're also like they all leave and it's like, yeah, I bet you don't even get halfway through phase 1 DC Comics.
DC Comics and
I'm just like, oh, that's so good.
Shots fired. But yeah, man, hats off to them. It looks pretty cool. You know, funny thing about the name, I didn't actually get it because I read it and I guess my innocent brain didn't put it together.
Really?
It wasn't until someone said it out loud that I was like, oh my god.
It was funny. Somebody pointed out, I think Trey and Matt just wanted to name it that so that when they were at the conference, someone would have to say the title over and over again and just be like, God fucking damn it. Honestly, I'm actually kind of excited because they did mix up a couple things. One, you can actually move your character, like, in positionally, right?
Yeah.
To set up like special moves and whatnot like that. So it adds a little bit more strategic depth to the game. Because a lot of people said that like, you know, the first Stick of Truth was, you know, it's a very simple RPG. Like it wasn't exactly anything too, you know, hard to grasp. It was sort of like an average RPG just with a really crazy, you know, sense of humor. Which is, very South Parky. And I am actually pretty excited for this because one, I feel like there's more to do with the superhero stuff. Like there's more comedy stuff in this, and I feel like some of their best stuff has to do with when the South Park characters do their superhero personas.
Yeah.
Because like I've watched the Cthulhu episodes, which is the Coon trilogy, and it is freaking fantastic. It is just it is fantastic the way that they make fun of like comics and whatnot. So I'm kind of excited, and also hats off to them. When you buy this version of this game, you're gonna be getting Stick of Truth with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool. It was
pretty cool. Yeah.
What else did Ubisoft show?
Well, then they had a bunch of VR nonsense, so we can just skip over all of that.
Yeah, we can just skip over that.
Then they showed For Honor. Now that was literally the game that I came to the press conference for, and it did not disappoint. It looks really cool. They finally revealed the Vikings.
Yeah.
So we have all three races. They also gave us a little bit of background on the story.
Okay, I have to talk about that. That is the fucking most metal setup ever. I freaking love it so much. These 3 races, everyone else dies, only these 3 races survive, right? And it's just conflict, immediate conflict. And they're just fighting for centuries and centuries. And every single time they try and make peace, this goddess of like war comes along to make sure that they continue to fight. And I'm just like, oh, that is such a great setup.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good to know that we at least we have an idea of why they're going to why these random people from around the world are trying to kill each other. So that's cool. And then we saw some gameplay of we saw some Viking gameplay. Looks cool. The one thing that has me a little worried is that maybe the gameplay might get a little bit repetitive. I can't imagine going through an entire campaign just doing that. It might start to get boring, but we'll see. It all depends on how much depth there is to the combat system. So time will tell. But overall, man, For Honor, hats off. We also got a release date, February 14th. So nice Valentine's Day presents. Yeah. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Then they should grow up. I don't care. Moving on.
Trials of the Blood Dragon.
They showed Trials of the Blood Dragon. It's so
good.
Funny because when those dudes came out in their track suits, I had the mute button ready because I thought it was about to get hella cringy.
Oh.
But then they got on stage, they did their thing, and they revealed the game, and I was like, oh shit, that was not as cringy as I thought. That's actually pretty awesome. Yeah, Trials of the Blood Dragon.
Blood Dragon. Well, every time I think of Blood Dragon, I'm just like, oh, that's fucking. I love Blood Dragon so much.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Trials game, but it's going to have like 80s Vice City type setting, and there's going to be actual like shooting in this one now, so that's pretty interesting, and we shall, looking forward to seeing more. Then they had a very ill-advised segment on the Assassin's Creed movie,
Hmm.
and the less said about that, the better. Then moving on, they had unless you wanted to talk about that.
Well, they just sort of talked about Assassin's Creed. Like, there's not really a whole much to talk about.
Yep. So moving on, I loved how they introduced Watch Dogs 2. I
Hmm.
loved how Aisha Taylor, she comes on stage and she's talking, and then at first it looks like they're having technical issues, and then you see that hacker dude's the anonymous, because that's pretty much what he is.
Yeah,
His
yeah, yeah.
face shows up on the screen, and I was like, oh, okay,
Oh,
okay,
yeah, that's
okay.
pretty good.
That was pretty good. I like that. Cause yeah, man, she's talking and she starts breaking up, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And then it was like anonymous, and I was like, oh, okay, Watch Dogs, cool, cool, cool.
Yeah,
The demo was okay. It wasn't anything insane.
yeah.
I
I
do.
will say
Sorry.
this: I like the characters more in this game.
Well, the last game didn't have characters,
That's true.
so.
That's true.
Um, um, but yeah, I also like the fact that they to differentiate itself from like Grand Theft Autos and stuff, they've given you the protagonist more gadgets,
Hmm.
which I think is pretty cool because it could help break up the monotony of the cover based shooting. So that's
Hmm.
pretty cool. But yeah, like same with Ghost Recon and same with For Honor. With all these games, they're Ubisoft games, so they're guilty until proven innocent.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, it looked cool. I really liked that intro. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, the
And
intro was
then
pretty good.
in typical Ubisoft fashion, they wrapped up the press conference with the main dude coming out and revealing a brand new game. I really like that. I really like that they do that every year.
Hmm.
A new IP called Steep, which looks really good.
It looks
Uh,
fun. It looks fun.
yeah, it looks like a lot of fun. Now, once again, just for the last time, as the case with all Ubisoft games, guilty until proven innocent. However,
I mean, it's basically like it looks like an air glide. Oh, I guess how would you describe it? Like an air glider
okay,
game?
no, it's a mix because there's snowboarding, there's skiing, there's paragliding, and there's shit, I forget what it's called, but it's like base jumping.
Yeah, base jumping. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Basically.
so it's a mix of those four sports,
Hmm.
and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent
To
of
to be
SSX.
fair though, out of all the sports games that come out, this is the type of genre that I like the most. Like the very fast going down snowy hills. Like
Yeah.
I'm more willing to play like a snowboarding game than I am to play like a soccer game or like a football game.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
loved I loved me some SSX back in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
day.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah. I'm definitely keeping an eye on this. It's gonna have a very big social aspect to it, so
Hmm.
that's always nice.
That's always nice.
And but yeah, the trailer was really good. The song in the trailer was awesome, and
Hmm.
yeah, pretty cool, brand new IP. Hats off to Ubisoft for trying something completely different. And yeah,
Yeah.
so you want to grade their press conference?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of what I'd give it. Because honestly, like the biggest thing that made me get excited was the South Park stuff and the For Honor.
Yeah, for
Um,
me, I'll give it a 7. There were a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys, so it wasn't like Bethesda and Microsoft were very consistent, whereas Ubisoft
it
they'd
was
gain
it
my
was
attention and then they'd lose it completely and then they'd gain it and then they'd lose it. So
Yeah,
I'll
to be fair, I give him a 7 too.
yeah
Like,
yeah I give them a solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, yeah, not a bad press conference, and
mhm.
yeah, yeah, keep up. There's areas to improve, but keep up the
You
good
were
work.
slowly getting better, but and then
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, "No, we're gonna lose the cringe. That's the best part."
But yeah, so now we get to Sony.
This Sony. So they had a pretty good first game. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's funny because I left before the press conference started. I went to go grab something to eat.
Hmm.
So when I came, I showed up in the middle of the demo. I
Oh,
showed up right as the demo was started. To be
okay,
fair,
okay,
and I saw the little kid, and I was like, "It's God of War, isn't it? Oh my God, they did it!" Because
yeah.
like it was a little kid, and he had like the Norse tattoos on his wrist, and I
Hmm.
was like, "They actually did it!" And then there's this
Um,
one dude in the shadows. And I'm like, that's Kratos, isn't it? And then he steps out, and I'm like, yep, called it. So yeah,
I loved how the audience fucking lost it
the
when
audience
Kratos
lost it.
walked
Yeah.
in.
So yeah, man, we have a brand new God of War. It's gonna be set it's gonna be set in Norse mythology
Norse
this time around.
mythology, yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I'm definitely excited. I feel like there's a lot they can do with that. But what's interesting about this game, I'm very interested about the demo. First of all, the gameplay is completely different now. It's a lot grittier now, which I'm fine with. I really didn't like how cartoonish the violence, how cartoonish the game, the old God of Wars were, and this is the other thing, and this is the main thing for me. I did not like how cartoonish Kratos was.
Oh yeah,
like
Kratos was really kind of stupid.
Yeah,
but some people really liked how stupid he was. But I prefer, like, we've had so many games of stupid Kratos. Let's try something different,
Yeah, because, like, in God of War 1, he was fine. I actually liked him in God of War 1. He was a tortured soul who was just trying to find redemption after murdering his family. Spoiler alert. And then after that, he kind of, like, went off the hinges and turned into this, like parody. Who was just always yelling and just always angry. So yeah, like with this game, it looks like they're trying something different, trying something a little more introspective.
Yeah.
Which was made most apparent by how the demo ended. Like the old God of War demos always ended with Kratos killing some like giant creature or just about to pounce on some really big creature. However, this demo ended with the father and son with the father teaching his son to kill a deer, and then Kratos was about to reach out to the boy, and then he pulls back and keeps being an asshole because he's Kratos.
Well, I feel like he knows that. I feel like in that it makes sense to particular Kratos, where it's like I need to make this son of mine into more of a man. I can't coddle him anymore. That kind of deal. And that's what I mean is that it's really odd because I was like, wow, this is probably the most in-depth Kratos I've seen in a while. Like he's not just like an angry brute. He actually has, and I love how he's getting angry at his son and then he has to stop himself and go like. Or I also thought the moment that was actually pretty freaking funny was when the kid accidentally shoots Kratos with the arrow, and then he goes, "Okay, Dad, I'm really sorry," and it's like, You've still got a deer to find," and just that's all he says, and I'm just like, "Oh, that's great, that's great."
Yeah. I will say that I was kind of sad to find out that it was still our Kratos, because I feel like they're like Kratos dies at the end of God of War 3. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
And he destroys the world in the process too. So I feel like they've got their work cut out for them, tying up the story.
Just retcon everything. Just retcon.
Yeah, and that's what I'm worried about, right? Is that we're going to start getting into Marvel and DC Comics territory where everything just starts getting retconned. And I'm like, they could have just, started off a brand new,
alternate
just rebooted it, right? Do the James Bond, right? Be like, okay, he's still called Kratos, but he's like a completely different Kratos. I mean, I don't think anyone would have lost sleep over that, really.
Yeah.
But anyway, whatever. We'll see how it goes. No release date. But that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, I do want to point out just before we get into it. I know you thought it was really over the top, but I really liked what they did with the actual conference. They had a full-on orchestra, and they were live playing. They were playing the music for the trailers in this orchestra, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool! That's so cool."
I thought it was over the top. It worked in some cases, and I'll get to that. But in general, I just thought it was
I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Over the top. But yeah, then they showed us some Horizon gameplay, which was pretty cool. They showed off Aloy's scanning ability, so she can scan enemies to figure out their weak spots and what they're weak to. And they also showed off animal taming. She's got this stick that she can use to reprogram certain robots, and then they showed off an interesting enemy, the Corruptor, who goes around corrupting other mechs because the robots are generally peaceful. But the Corruptor changes that, so that's pretty cool.
What I like about what they were kind of getting at is that the Corruptor is is very futuristic. Like, the Corruptor is like, it's more like what a futuristic robot would look like. It's not really that animal-like. And I'm interested in that because it's like, all the other robots are meant to be very, very animal-like, whereas the Corruptor seems more, standard, which I'm interested if that has to tie in with, like, the whole story and whatnot.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it will. That's one really interesting about this game is that we know so little about the plots. Like we are like Aloy in this game.
Yeah.
She's trying to figure out what happens to the old ones.
Yeah.
And she's trying to figure out how machines took over the world, and so are we. So yeah. I'm looking forward to. Now they gave us our release date. Well, no, we actually spoke about this last week. Yeah, it got delayed to 2017, which kind of sucks, but shit happens. Then they showed a quick trailer of a new game called Days Gone By. They finished off the press conference with this game, so I think
I guess we can tie it. Like, I know that you really, really didn't care for this game at all, and I can understand that. I thought it was okay. Like, I was looking at it, and I was like, okay, I can see what they're kind of going for. Like, in a lot of ways, like, the idea of this, like, sort of grittier, older guy walking around in a forest with zombies, it made me kind of feel a bit Last of Us-y, if you know what I mean. I know that sounds weird.
No, I definitely get what you mean.
But like, especially in the gameplay demo, like some of the like animations and searching through like the car and whatnot, I was like, this is very Last of Us-y.
Yeah, well, I guess they just tackled the game now. Then. Let me get the good out of the way first. The orchestra really worked well with this game, I felt. Other than that, man, I was like, really, guys? Really? 5 years? You've been working on the game for 5 years and you come out and you give us a third-person shooter set in a zombie apocalypse. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god! Like, really? Really? And then they come out and they're like, oh, they're not actually zombies, they're freakers. The hell out of here with that bullshit, man.
They might as well. Like, I give Last of Us some credit because
please, The Last of Us tried to pull that shit.
Okay, no. Listen. I let me finish my point. I give Last of Us some credit because at the very least their zombies, because they are basically zombies, are at least an interesting design. Like, the fungus design was very, very cool and creative and interesting.
I'll give you that, yeah.
This, though, even though it's like, no, they're not technically zombies, they just look like zombies. Like, they just, there's no way around it. It's not where you can be like, you can be in Last of Us and be like, okay, that's a clicker. And say, like, that's its whole other thing. And they'll be like, no, this is just a zombie.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we haven't seen all the freakers. We haven't seen the different like breeds of freakers. There might be different types, but yeah, overall I was so disappointed. And then like the funniest part is that this game was bookended by a Norse God of War, Horizon, and The Last Guardian. So you have like a Norse hack and slash, Horizon, which has one of the more unique settings I've seen, The Last Guardian, which is a very unique game, and then you have this third-person shooter set in a zombie apocalypse. It's like
it was weird. I will give you that. It was a little bit weird to see that spliced in. It was
like, come on, guys. Oh my god. Yeah. So generic. I didn't want to spend any more time talking about it.
Fair enough.
Last Guardian got a release date. I know you're happy about that.
I was like, oh my god. And also they showed that there were two. There were two.
That caught me off guard.
And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Holy shit, there's two. And we got a release date, and I was like, damn, that is a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, October 25th, 2016. So yeah, look out for that.
I was really happy with that trailer. I like also how they started, how they had like the white and grayish veils come down. I was like, oh, it's gonna be Last Guardian. It's gonna be Last Guardian. I was like, yes.
Yeah. So at this point, it's finally coming out. We have a date, and at this point, I'm pretty sure it's not going to get delayed.
I am really hoping it doesn't get delayed, but I feel as if they must be close. They must be close to finishing that game because it's been like 8 years.
So then Sony took a step back and gave us some PSVR nonsense. They started off pretty well though with Resident Evil 7. But similar to Ubisoft games, Capcom games are all guilty until proven innocent.
I will give them some credit though, just before we talk about the PSVR, is that at the very least it wasn't like they talked a little bit about PSVR, but they weren't selling PSVR like saying like, okay, these are the features, these are the stuff. It's like, okay, here's the games. Let's just show the games. They just went straight into the games, and I have to give them credit for that.
And they burned through it pretty quickly. So
yes,
there was
like
Resident Evil 7. It's a first-person shooter now. Well, it's in the first person now, which is interesting. A lot of people are upset about that. But me, I'm like, you know what? The last time they changed perspectives, we got Resident Evil 4. Mm-hmm. So on one hand, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. On the other hand, it's Capcom, so I won't.
I will give them credit. It's not like I was weirded out and I thought, is this exclusive to PSVR? It's not exclusive. So
it's
I was
not
exclusive
to PSVR. It's not exclusive to PS4 either. It's coming to the Xbox. It's coming in January. So we're gonna get a bunch of, oh my god, TGS is going to be Resident Evil 7 City. Mm-hmm. So that's cool, I guess.
I want to point out because I know a lot of people are upset about this isn't like classic. Like people were hoping when they said like a return to form that it would be like Resident Evil 1 or something like that, right? But to be fair, like, I like the fact that, hey, guess what, guys? You're getting Resident Evil 2 remastered, so for those who really want that experience, you can go back to that. And, I am interested because this is a different take. This is very more horror. A lot of people said that it reminded people of, like, Outlast mixed with PT.
Yeah.
And anything mixed with PT gets me pretty excited. Because there's this idea that there might actually be multiple universes in this game, and there might be ways of accessing them in this. And I find that really interesting because it's more supernatural this time around.
Yeah. I've never been fond of multiple universes in comics, cartoons, or video games, but we'll see. Overall, first-person Resident Evil 7. We didn't really see a whole lot, so I'll wait till I see more. But it's Capcom, so I'm gonna shit on it either way.
Spider-Man.
Then they revealed a bunch of other stuff. They revealed a Spider-Man game made by Insomniac. This is actually exclusive to the PS4. Mm-hmm. It looks cool graphically. It looks really cool. We haven't had a good Spider-Man game in a very long time.
I have more faith in Insomniac to do it. So
it's true. Although I thought I was sure it would have been Sucker Punch because Sucker Punch already has experience making these types of games, right? But Insomniac's also made Sunset Overdrive, which was a very cool open world game with interesting mobility options. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this game. Like I said, we haven't had a good Spider-Man game in a very long time, so I'm cautiously optimistic. Then Hideo Kojima came on.
God, I have to talk about this. This was the best. This was the best. I love how Hideo Kojima just walked on stage and there were these little light boxes that showed up as he's walking. And it's just like, he shows up like a boss. And I love his little like shot at Konami where he's like, hello, I'm back. I was just like, that is just fantastic.
Yeah. The orchestra worked well here too. And he showed off his new game. Unfortunately, there was no gameplay, so, it's tough to really discern anything from that trailer. Norman Reedus is going to be the main character.
I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, are they actually doing Quiet Mountain? Oh my god. And then I was like, okay, no, it's not.
Yeah, Norman Reedus is the main character, but other than that, we don't really have a whole lot of info about the game.
I gotta be honest, I really like the trailer. Like, I really liked the trailer because it was just so weird, and it made me go, what is this game? I want to know. Like, I really want to know. And the shot of, like, those 5, like, specters in the sky just got me so intrigued in what this game could potentially be. And the other thing I also noticed is that I really like Kojima because he has a really good... he really knows what kind of songs work for trailers.
Yeah.
And every time he comes out with a trailer, I'm like, wow, this is an amazing song. I'm going to immediately buy it on iTunes because I want to listen to this song again.
Yeah. For me, I try not to get too invested in CGI trailers because
Mhm.
that tends to lead to disappointment when you actually see the gameplay. In my experience, anyway.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah. So I saw the trailer and I was like, okay, Kojima. Like, I can't lie, I was actually really disappointed because for me, like, me and CG trailers, right?
I know. I know. I know.
If it's not Blizzard in general, I don't care. But especially because, like, if it was like a sequel to say a new Zone of Enders, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Quake, for example, I'd be
Mm.
like, okay, it's a CG trailer, but hey, it's a new Quake. It's a CG trailer, but hey, it's a new Zone of Enders. But CG trailers for new IPs, yeah, I I really hate when people do that. But
Well,
yeah, hopefully,
I understand that. Doesn't bother me at all. Not
yeah,
in the
yeah.
slightest. And
Hopefully,
mostly I'm like, wow, I'm glad that he's working on a new IP and not being forced to make another Metal Gear.
yeah. But I mean, we knew that already,
Yeah,
right?
we
So
knew
that's
that.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
So the game is called Death Stranded, and hopefully we'll see gameplay at TGS. I'm not fully
It's called Death Stranding.
Oh, Stranding, thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. But yes. I am
And
really
hopefully
hoping
we'll
we
see
see.
gameplay at TGS. And
Mhm.
then moving on to probably the biggest surprise of the press conference
Pretty
for me,
big.
anyway, Crash Bandicoot. I did
Yeah,
not see that coming
yeah.
at all. Like I joke about stuff like
We
that.
well you joked that you said that E3 in our E3 predictions video that yeah Crash Bandicoot's gonna be making his return this year and it did come true.
Did I?
Yeah, you did.
Huh. Well, there you. I wasn't even being serious. Like I was just kidding when I said that. I did not believe it was ever going to happen because Activision are pieces of shit, and I did not think they'd ever release their clutches on Crash. No, no. To be fair, I don't think they've actually given Crash Bandicoot back to Sony. They're
Mm-hmm.
just rebooting. They're just re-releasing one through
Yeah,
three.
they're making remastered versions basically.
Yeah, and maybe maybe if the games sell really well, they'll use that as a gauge, and then maybe we might get a new Crash Bandicoot. But as of right now, we're only getting remasters. There's no word on, like, we didn't even get a trailer, we didn't even get a logo. There's no word on if it's going to be like a proper Ratchet and Clank type remake or if it's just going to be an HD remaster. I'm hoping for the former, obviously, but I'm realistically it's probably going to be the latter. Yeah, that was a very, very big surprise. Like, it's funny, when he got on stage, I heard the theme playing, and I was like, that sounds familiar. Oh my god, no way!
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I'm a lot less upset at him for wearing a Crash Bandicoot T-shirt at the PlayStation Experience in December. But yeah, I would have preferred to. Yeah, you see here, I wouldn't have minded the CGI trailer because it's Crash Bandicoot. I know exactly what I'm getting here. But yeah, hats off to Sony for pulling it off, and hats off to them for because this couldn't have been easy. This couldn't have been an easy deal.
Oh no, it probably was a fucking debacle to get this.
Yeah. So hats off to them for listening to the fans and giving the fans what they want. They wanted Crash Bandicoot. People kept asking for Crash Bandicoot, and they gave them Crash Bandicoot. So we'll see where this goes. But as of right now, even if this is all we get, this is more than I thought we would ever get.
Yeah.
So hats off to Sony for that. Then well, this isn't how they wrapped up the press conference.
They wrapped it up with Days Gone By.
Yeah, but we've covered everything except this. So let's just they had a really, really cool trailer for Detroit, worst name ever. And,
Detroit, worst name ever. Yep.
And yeah, I really enjoyed the trailer. No. They showed a bunch of different ways that the thing that situation can play out, and they also said that all these ways will have a lasting effect on the game. Now that sounds very, very what's that word I'm looking for? Shit, I hate when this happens.
What, Peter Molyneux?
No. That sounds very like they're trying to do a lot here, and I don't have faith in them pulling it off. It's pretty much what I'm getting.
Pretty much, yeah. Like this is not going to be like Witcher. This is not going to be like Witcher levels.
Now, to be fair, The Witcher only actually had 3 endings. But
the little events affected other parts of the story, not necessarily the ending, but it affected other parts of the story at the very least.
Yeah. So but I can see them like. You said that the what's that game called?
Heavy Rain.
Heavy Rain. Thank you very much. I'm burning out here. You said that Heavy Rain actually pulled off the decisions having lasting consequences pretty well, right?
Like, yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Out of all the games, like I said, it did the decisions well, but also it had a cast that was at least slightly less stupid than Indigo Prophecy or Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
So there was that. Also, I think they were smart, and I didn't know if they were going to do this, and I was like, they clearly understood that. What's the one thing that people have liked out of all the three all the three David Cage games? Well, people really liked playing as Norman Jayden, who was like a sci-fi detective, right? He had these super sick glasses. He would walk around, inspect, clues. And his whole gimmick was that he was trying to solve a mystery, and if you collected clues throughout the entire story, you could solve the mystery. And it's kind of interesting. Like, I played that game, and in my playthrough, I missed a clue, and I couldn't solve the mystery with him.
Oh,
so
that's
and I thought that was actually a really cool idea. It's like, if you don't get all the clues, you can't solve the mystery.
yeah, that's a pretty cool idea. So it looks like they're building off on that.
Mm-hmm.
The more thorough you are, the more options you'll have eventually, and then the better of an outcome you will get. So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that. They also described the game as a neo-noir. Now, if you just add the word noir to anything, I'm already excited about it.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
so there is that. You're gonna play multiple characters. I don't know if you're only gonna play two characters. You're definitely still gonna play that chick.
Kara. I'm really excited to play Kara.
But yeah, I don't know if it's only gonna be two characters, but it's gonna be multiple characters.
Right.
Each character can die. They've said that. They've confirmed. Confirmed that. We even saw in the demo that the detective you play, there's a number of different ways that he can die, and the story is going to feature like androids versus humans, and the cruelty of humans towards the androids and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of potential there. No release dates yet, but I mean we've like the end of this year to early next year is pretty packed right now, so I can live with that. In fact, I actually prefer that a little until games start getting delayed.
yeah. See, that's the difference there. It's like we don't mind that until the games start getting delayed.
Until the games start getting delayed, but yeah, man. Overall, really cool demo.
It's really cool. I am still optimistic because I cautiously optimistic because I fucking hated Beyond Two Souls so much.
Yeah. But yeah, this looks a lot more like Heavy Rain,
and that's why I'm like, I have more faith in this game actually being decent than something else.
There's no magic in this either, so that's also
and I always stress that. I was like, when David Cage and they had to remove that from Heavy Rain. If you want to hear something crazy about Heavy Rain, the Heavy Rain got heavily edited 2 months before the release because David Cage wanted he wanted a magic part in that game as well. He wanted the main character to have a psychic link with the villain. I am dead serious. And then somebody walked up to him and said, David, that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. The game would make more sense if we just take it out. And that did create a lot of plot holes, but it made the game a whole lot better.
But yeah, Heavy Rain was a neo-noir, and it worked out pretty well. Like this game, overall, all I can say, this game seems a lot more like Heavy Rain, and Heavy Rain was pretty good. It's probably Quantic Dream's best game.
Yes, I would guarantee. I would say that it's their best game.
So looking forward to that. Overall, so you wanna grade Sony's press conference?
I know there are obviously some up and downs overall, but I loved the orchestra. I loved Hideo Kojima. I love seeing Last Guardian release date. That was great. Horizon was great. Norse God of War was great. I'd give them probably like an 8.5. I think an 8.5 is a good score for them. It wasn't, and obviously I know it wasn't me jumping up and down with excitement as last year when seeing Last Guardian getting revealed, Shenmue 3 and, Final Fantasy 7. But I still thought it was a really good conference. Still thought it was really good. I give it 8.5 for sure.
Yeah, I'd actually give it a 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you see, and this is where we differ.
Well, this is where we differ. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually for sure 100% preferred this over last year because for one, first of all, here's the thing: there was very little third-party crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
They showed Modern Warfare. Sorry, they showed.
Oh, I have to talk just really quickly, just before you give your score. I had a really odd experience when they showed Infinite Warfare.
But you were enjoying the trailer,
No,
and then it was like.
Well, okay, here's the thing. Well, one, I thought it was weird because I had to go to the washroom, right, and I came back, and they were showing the shooter, and I didn't actually know it was Infinite Warfare. Because I was like, are they showing Infinite Warfare? Like, because I know they did show Call of Duty last year, but I was having this confusing where it's like, is this Infinite Warfare? It has grappling hooks, but Titanfall has grappling hooks. And then I'm like, I was getting really mad because I was like, I can't figure out if this is Call of Duty because I saw some Titan robots walking around in the early part of the trailer. So I'm like having this like, is it Call of Duty or is it Titanfall? Is it Call of Duty? I can't figure it out. I should be able to. And then after like one, I think it was like a very particular icon that showed up. I was like, okay, this is Infinite Warfare. It has to be Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, I was barely paying attention.
Oh no, I don't blame you. I just thought that was a really funny thing. But yeah, keep going.
That is pretty funny. But yeah, so first of all, they focused more on their first party studios, which has always been my biggest criticism of them. Even last year, like they got the Last Guardian stuff out like really quick. They got the Horizon stuff out, and then they spent most of their press conference focusing on third party shit. There was no more coming first to PS4 or exclusive okay, there was still all that bullshit, but a lot less exclusive content on PS4. It was just, this game is exclusive to PS4. Spider-Man, Hideo Kojima's new game, Crash Bandicoot, Detroit, Last Guardian, Days Gone By. I mean, sure, it looks like shit, but still. Horizon and the Norse God of War. They had so much first-party stuff to show that there was a bunch of first-party stuff they didn't even show. They didn't show GT Sports. They didn't show Dreams. They didn't show Gravity Rush 2. They didn't show Persona 5.
Yeah.
Like, they had so much first-party stuff, they didn't have enough space for all their first-party stuff. They didn't show any Destiny crap. They didn't show any Watch Dogs 2 crap. They didn't show any Titanfall 2 crap. None of that. Sure, Call of Duty was there, and they spent way too long on that Lego Star Wars trailer. Are you kidding me? I was like, are you guys actually being serious right now? A full 2 minutes and 30 seconds on Lego Star Wars. The PSVR nonsense was nonsense. But overall, man, this is Sony's best E3 press conference to date. It was the pace was really good. I mean, sure, the VR stuff was kind of whack, but they got through it really quickly.
Yeah. And there were more surprises.
There was a lot of surprises. We got release dates. We got concrete release dates for a lot of games.
Yeah.
We got and then the few that we didn't get release dates for, we at least got gameplay walkthroughs. We got a gameplay walkthrough for Days Gone By and the Norse God of War. We got a gameplay walkthrough for Detroit. It was just, sure, there was no Vita, but the Vita's dead. No one cares anymore.
No one cares, yeah.
The funniest part was I didn't even notice that the Vita wasn't at Sony's press conference. That's how bad it's gotten. Yeah, man, for me, this is Sony's best E3 press conference to date, and it might actually be their best press conference, period, actually, for me. So yeah, I'll give them a solid 9, man. Like the orchestra was way over the top. Oh my god!
But I loved it. It was so awesome. Why you gotta be hating on my orchestras?
Like they kept my attention, and like almost 90%. Okay, maybe not 90%. Like 80% of the stuff that they showed was only coming to PS4, which has always been my biggest criticism of them, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. This is why I bought my now I know. This is why I bought my PS4. It's finally paying dividends. So yeah, man, hats off to Sony. Really good press conference. I'm looking forward to them disappointing me at their next press conference. That's just how it goes with these guys. But yeah, solid 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
good shit.
Good stuff.
And yeah, so let's wrap up with Nintendo.
All right. I was the only one who watched Nintendo. So.
I watched Nintendo. Okay.
Oh, you did?
Nintendo. Yeah, so they started off. They showed Pokemon Sun and Moon. I was like, okay, cool. Then they showed Zelda, and then they just kept showing Zelda, and I was like, cool, I'm out. That was.
Well, they were. I guess they were very clear that they only really were going to show Pokemon and Zelda. Now, to be fair though, I was pretty impressed with the Zelda stuff.
It looks really good. But no, just real quick. When they said that they were gonna focus on Zelda, I didn't think they were like. I was like, okay, cool. It's gonna be like 20 minutes of Zelda, maybe, and then a bunch of other stuff. No. It was all Zelda.
You know why? You know why? It's
time.
like it's because it was a treehouse. It was a Treehouse Live, and that's what this E3 was. It was a Treehouse Live, and that's where they just have somebody demoing the game, and you can tell that because if you look up the Nintendo E3 Treehouse Live, it is 7 hours, and it's 2 games. I mean, like it's kind of horrifying when you say that, and it's like, what the fuck? And but let's talk about the 2 games that they showed. All right, Zelda, so they finally we have a title. Breath of the Wild. And this is probably the most different Zelda game I've seen in a while. Like, it is so different. And now it makes a lot of sense why it's taking so long to make. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, because it's like it's a brand new game. You know, they're not doing the Nintendo and just taking the code from the old game, dusting it off, and adding a few lines onto it. They're actually building a brand new game, brand new engine, brand new all day. And I'm impressed. Like, I was very, very impressed with what I saw. Now, to be fair, eventually I was like, okay, cool, this is a little too much Zelda for me, and I dipped. But yeah, man, like you can customize your Link. You know, like it's an open world RPG Zelda game, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very open world. It's very reminiscent of like the very original Zeldas, where it's like, all right, you know, think of like Link's Awakening. You wake up on an island, go. You know, you wake up on an island, just go find the dungeons. You know, there wasn't really like a set linear path, right?
Yeah.
So, and I find that really interesting is that they pointed out that this is a Zelda game in which there is no linear order. You need to explore the world and do the dungeons, right?
Yeah.
And they've also stressed that it's really weird when I say this, but it's very Dark Souls-y in how they're going to do their story, in the sense where it's like you can just blow through the game and get to the final boss and beat the game, but you won't figure out why Link shows up where he is, what's going on around in the world, unless you explore the world and talk to NPCs and whatnot. So I was like, that's very Dark Souls-y. I found that was a very convention changer from the typical, like, we're gonna have cutscenes, we're gonna have like, you know, big dialogue scenes and whatnot explaining what's going on and what. Like, it's very interesting, and I like the idea of Link having multiple weapons, and because that's because, you know, it's, you know, as much as I love the sword, you know, eventually it's like, man, I wish I could use like a spear or like a hammer or something like that.
No, for sure. This is the biggest convention change I've seen of maybe any Nintendo IP. Like, it's completely, they've changed so much about it. And hats off to them. The game looks amazing, by the way. But you know me and cell shading. That's, you know, I like, if you, it's like the anti-zombies for me. You know, if you add cell shading to your game, I automatically love it. Like, which makes me wonder what will happen if someone made a cell shaded zombie game.
I feel like that there must have been somewhat. Well, I guess some people could argue that technically, like, Plants vs. Zombies is kind of cell shaded.
No. What I mean is that, because if you add cell shading to a game, I love it, and if you add zombies to a game, I automatically hate it. So if you make a cell shaded zombie game, I really don't know.
You would probably just be like, meh. It would balance out. You know what I mean?
I'd just be whelmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really all I have to say about the Nintendo press conference.
I'm trying to think of any other things that were with Zelda that people were pointing out. One thing that they pointed out that I thought was pretty insane. So somebody pointed out that you can attempt to fight the last boss literally 30 minutes after you wake up. Like,
which is very Dark Souls.
It's very Dark Souls-y. And I think they did that. Somebody would point out, they said, I think they did that so that speedrunners wouldn't have to, like, break the game to beat the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's a couple other details, like there's a weather gauge now where it's like there's going to be areas where Link's going to need certain clothing or else he's going to lose hearts. The other big convention breaker, no hearts in this game, technically. You can't cut grass and get hearts. You actually have to grab food and meat to heal yourself.
Yeah, it's a straight up open world RPG.
Yeah, and
I
it's so different. I will say I got really hyped when you get to see Link was wearing like this sick ass silver armor, and I was like, oh, that's cool. That's really really cool. But I also really like how the title fits really well. Like it's Breath of the Wild. Like this is meant to be like a Link that is, he's more of a huntsman. He's more of, he's a solo wanderer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
More like what he was in the original game. So it's a very like callback to, because a lot of people said that like they've been treading the Ocarina path for so long that it's nice to see them try something really different with this.
That's actually a very good point. Is that after they found something that worked really well with Ocarina of Time, and as Nintendo is wants to do, they just kept doing that same thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very nice to see them try something pretty much completely different with this game.
Yeah, for sure. And then they also showed some Pokemon stuff. Pretty much cool Pokemon stuff. They showed the more customization for the characters and whatnot. I mean, like it's more Pokemon. Like, I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. So yeah, you want to grade them?
If I want to be honest, I'd probably give him like a 7. I give him a 7 because like I loved seeing the Zelda stuff. It was great to see. Oh, one other quick thing before I give my grade. The other thing they said about Zelda is that it's going to be getting 3 amiibos, which I think is nuts. And 2, the Wolf Link amiibo actually gives you the ability to summon a wolf.
Ooh.
And he will be your companion in the game. And you can summon him every day or whatnot. And I found that really, really cool. Because they've also stressed that this is also going to be the first Zelda game that you don't really have a companion. Like, you know how in every other Zelda game you have Navi, or you got Midna, or Fi? You know what I mean? As, like, your guide?
Yeah.
This is the first game where you're not really going to have much of a guide.
Okay.
I find kind of interesting. But overall, I mean, it was 2 games. It was Zelda and Pokemon. And, I mean, I love the Zelda stuff, so that's why I'm giving it a 7. But to be honest, most people, if you get tired of Zelda after like 30 minutes, it's not gonna be much. There's not gonna be much else there.
I was gonna give them a 6, but then I realized that it's unfair to score them higher than EA because they only showed 2 games. So I'm gonna have to give them a 4, unfortunately, which makes me sad because the Zelda looks really good.
Yeah, well, I understand that score.
Zelda.
That's fair. That's fair. I understand that, but honestly, like I love Zelda so much that I knew I was gonna give them a 7 no matter what they did.
Yeah, and then on top of that, sure they said that they were gonna do it, but if someone says they're gonna punch me in the nuts and then punches me in the nuts, it still hurts either way. So So yeah, like I feel like they could have done so much more. But...
I will say this: I preferred it. I will say this: I preferred it more than their last conference.
I mean, this is probably their best conference in a very long time, which just speaks about how bad Nintendo has been at E3 for almost a decade now.
Yeah. I hope that we get a direct soon, though.
Yeah, same here. But overall, man, like it was a pretty good E3.
It was a pretty good E3.
A lot of stuff to get excited about. Titanfall 2 looks really good. Gwent, oh my God, Gwent.
Yeah.
Norse God of War.
Death
Horizon,
Stranding.
For Honor. There was a lot of stuff to get excited about, and this is one of my favorite E3s. This might actually be my favorite E3.
Yeah, it was a really solid E3 overall. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff. Like, I think everybody got at least one cool, like, little moment.
There's something for everyone.
Yeah, exactly, right? So I thought that was pretty good. Overall, there wasn't really any like moments where I was like, oh, fuck this conference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that's good. It wasn't like
Konami 2010.
Yeah, it wasn't like
you can't move your fat body freely.
Oh God. What was the other? Oh, there was one other I'm remembering. Oh, fucking the Xbox conference.
Oh, the Kinect Dad SWAT
Or no, not even that. I'm thinking when like the Xbox One reveal. Well, I mean like when they revealed the price at E3, and there were all these like really awkward moments of the guy's face. Or what was the guy? Oh, what was that one comment? I forget the guy's name, but he said that like
Oh, it's like, oh yeah, if you don't have an internet connection, we have a product for you, and it's called the Xbox 360. Yeah, he doesn't work with Microsoft anymore.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? When you say something like that, you're not gonna last very long.
Oh
like
you
told that to Jeff Keighley, for fuck's sake. Of course he's gonna like spread the news that this guy's saying this.
But yeah, overall it was a really good E3. The only downside was that there was nobody embarrassing themselves.
Yeah.
There was no one really embarrassed themselves.
Not a whole lot of cringe. I mean, if you got a good solid amount of cringe at Ubisoft, not gonna lie. So
yeah, so there was that. But yeah, overall, man, I'm really happy. Can't wait for next year.
Yeah. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If you leave a comment in the comment section, we'll make sure to answer in the next podcast. And as always, this was your host, William Liberty, and
Fuaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And we'll see you guys next time.